Good morning, what's going on? Actually, technically it's afternoon, but hi. Welcome to another episode of the vlogs. Today, what is going on today? Today we have a cool thing going on. I can't remember if I spoke about it in the last vlog. I took a break over the weekend from vlogging and everything. I'm trying to get better at this, doing my darndest. And yeah, here we are. But today, we do have a cool opportunity today, amongst the regular stuff that we normally do here in these vlogs, you know, editing and such. Today, I actually have the opportunity to be speaking to a couple classes today. So I was fortunate enough to be blessed with the opportunity to be able to speak to some grade 9 students today, some grade 9 business students actually, which is super cool. Cause I feel like I was not fortunate enough to have this opportunity when I was in school. So I think it's really cool that this is something that, you know, at least some schools are doing now. So super cool. So I actually, I won't show the entire thing, but I was just kind of putting this presentation together here, you know, just a couple slides here in the good old Google presentation. So yeah, I won't be able to share the actual presentation itself as far as I know, just because it's going to be like a live class and all of that. But the opportunity is super cool. So I'm just going to be speaking about the characteristics and skills necessary to become or necessary to be an entrepreneur, right? So, I mean, we all kind of have a general idea of what that is. You know, just, you know, resiliency, certain business acumen, certain organizational skills, critical thinking, strategy, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's going to be cool kind of breaking that down with the students. This is really my first time doing something like this. I've done one other speaking thing, which was when I was speaking in the Good Girls Gone Boss Society. However, that was dealing with speaking to adults. I don't think there are any like young people in there under the age of 18. I'm pretty sure everyone there was an adult. So this is going to be my first time speaking to kids about this kind of thing, which is cool because it forces my brain to think in the simplest, most palatable, easy to grasp terms. I think that'll be necessary in order for me to just do a stellar job, which of course I'm going to aim to do. So I'll let you know how that goes once it's done. After that, I have some editing to do for my friend Alex Kazam on a video that he put together, or that he recorded and he'll be releasing soon. So I'll be getting to that later on today as well. But I just wanted to speak to you know, talk about how excited I am to be presenting to a group of high school students, because I think that's really cool. I'm going to be presenting this presentation that I put together to 2 different classes. Yeah, and I'm super excited because this is just kind of an opportunity that, you know, someone believed in me enough to know, you know, that I could attempt this, to say the least. I believe I'll do well. And so I'm super grateful for the opportunity for someone to kind of give me a chance like this. It's something I'm very, very, very grateful for. And it's interesting because I feel like it is bringing about maybe not full-blown imposter syndrome, but a little bit of it. And I just mean in the sense of I haven't done this kind of thing before, so it is kind of brand new to me, but it is still something that I'm still gonna attempt to do. You know, I think once you get to a point where people start to recognize your ability to do something, it's very easy to get either insecure or just kind of like, Okay, this is like real, like people are looking, and these are, especially too, if it's people you don't know, right? Now, I think it's about, if you include the teachers, I'll say like probably around maybe like 50, 60 people between the two presentations. And of all those people, I only know one of them. So everyone else is a stranger to me, and I've not met them before, and they likely have not heard of me or have seen anything that I do. So completely fresh set of eyes, completely fresh context there too. And I think it's gonna be really cool. I feel myself feeling a little excited, but also anxious, and I'm thankful because I've put together like a lot of the stuff I'm going to be speaking to. It's just stuff that I either just naturally think about, right? Like, what are the skills and characteristics that are important for entrepreneurs to have, and why? That's something that you kind of it's a occupational byproduct of entrepreneurship. You're forced to think about these things, and I'm a big fan of talking clearly, so it does feel like a natural fit in that sense. However, thinking about speaking to a group of students, teaching, if you will, is not something I have formal experience in, but little bits of different things I've done throughout my life are giving me a skill set for this that I'm hoping will kind of help me, right? Like when I was working at the corporate job, I was really gunning to be a trainer, actually. And I got the opportunity to, get in front of the class and do some stuff. I always loved doing presentations at school as well. I think I'm really good at either actually being comfortable in front of groups of people, or at least pretending like I'm comfortable. I think when I started out, it was definitely like just pretending that I'm comfortable. And because of, the fact that I like, I have a passion for acting, even though I don't actively like do that. Like I enjoy the act, or I enjoy the art of acting, performing, right? Like I liked doing that kind of stuff as a kid. So I think it's like, it's a mixture between teaching and acting, or performing, I'll say, not even acting, but performing, right? And I think for me, sometimes I get very performative in the way that I do stuff. Like even in these vlogs, like it's a performance, not in the sense of like, it's not genuine or it's not real, but it's a performance in the sense of I'm trying to share with you my thoughts or my ideas or my opinions or my stresses or my concerns or whatever it is, in a way that is visually engaging and memorable, and then also on this platform in particular, in a way that's valuable, right? Something that you can kind of take something from this, right? So in order to do that, I kind of have to, or I believe that I have to perform in the sense of just like being a heightened version of the way, or I have to deliver that information in a bit more of a heightened way than I would do if I was just, chit-chatting with somebody kind of thing, right? So even like just like hand gesture things, being very cognizant of how I word things, like just little things like that. It's just a little bit manufactured, right? And it's a little bit heightened using like big, wide facial expressions, hand gestures, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The point is I'm noticing these feelings of like a little bit of nerves, I guess, but overall, I'm very excited. And most of all, I am very grateful for the opportunity, because these are the kind of things that start the momentum of networking, especially too in the realm of public speaking. A lot of the times it's just like, this person said or came into this space and talked about this stuff. Maybe they can come to this space and talk about this stuff. Or what else can they talk about? Let me reach out and let me engage with them and find out. So it's cool. It's cool. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I will definitely share with the vlog here, or I will share with you, I should say, I will share with you my thoughts and feelings and takeaways and yada, yada, yada afterwards. Hopefully I remember to do that. It'll be starting in about the next half hour or so, and it will be 2 classes or 2 iterations of the presentation. So it'll take probably a couple hours to get through that. And then the rest of the day will be spent editing, but I will be sure to share my experience doing something like this at the end, because this is the first for me in this specific kind of way. And I just kind of wanted to document my thoughts about it and talk about the fact that I am feeling those nerves, but also a lot of excitement, and trying to make it a point to lean into the gratitude that I have for the opportunity. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of, vibe setting for myself whilst I get ready to go do that. And then I'm gonna do that, and then I'll check in with you later, and then I'll get back to more editing for the day. So I will check in with you later, and if for whatever reason I don't forget, have a great rest of your day, and thanks for listening to me. See you in a bit. Well, okay. We did it. Just wrapped up the presentations not that long ago, really, just a few minutes ago. Just kind of debriefed. Yeah, it was super cool. I kind of want to, let me see if I can just put this here again. Great. Yeah, so honestly, overall, I'd say I felt pretty good. I felt pretty good about it. It was interesting, there's always the chance that something can go differently than you planned. Not necessarily wrong, but differently than you planned. I had my camera set up. It probably looks like my camera's super high up, but it's not. I just had it at standing height, right? Because I thought it'd be cool to, have the camera here and be kind of standing up, right? Just a little bit more of a flattering angle. So I had my external camera set up, and I was pretty much all ready to go. And this is not the first time this has happened to me, but the Google Meet wasn't, it just wasn't working, or it wasn't reading my external camera for some reason. So was not exactly thrilled about that. It kind of just threw me off a little bit, because I thought it was I had this aesthetic in my head, and then it didn't go that way. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but luckily I felt like I was able to recover. Just more technical things, but I think I could have been a little bit more, anyway, pros and cons, but overall I think it went pretty okay. I was told that it went well, and yeah, overall I feel pretty good about it. I covered what I wanted to cover. Felt like the pacing was a little bit fumbly, but again, I wanted to give myself the grace to remember that it's still it's a first time thing for me. And I felt much better during the second presentation that I did. I felt much more confident about the pacing, the rhythm, the cadence, the overall flow. I felt more comfortable of where I was gonna make my little, off the cuff, sidebar jokes, and just my overall presence, I guess, virtual presence. I felt a lot more confident the second time around. And what's interesting is in the second presentation, I had not met any of those people before, even the teacher. I didn't know a single soul in that virtual room. And I felt much more confident. And that was just from doing it once. And I had maybe about a 5-minute break in between. And that was all I needed to be like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm really listening attentively, because the main camera, the microphone was in a room full of people and not everybody was close to the microphone, so it was hard to hear. So I knew I had to make a conscious effort to listen, right? I switched the order of one of the slides and I deleted one of the slides as well too, just so it would flow a little bit more naturally. I knew the engagement activities I wanted to do a little bit better. Just from doing it once, I felt so much more confident in the second one. The first one, I felt a little bit awkward in my cadence of things, but in the second one, I felt way better. So I think this just furthers the point of like, just do the thing, right? And the sooner you start, the sooner you're gonna get better. I think I could have done, even more prep, but I don't think it would have actually better prepared me. I think the thing that prepared me the best for the second presentation was doing the first one. And so I just think it's one of those things where if you want to get good at something, you have to do it. You're more than likely not gonna start out the gate great, right? And even if you start out the gate really good, your second time doing the thing, you're gonna be even better, hopefully. The amount, how much better you're gonna get probably is gonna vary depending on your pre-existing skills, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, so that was really cool. I had a lot of fun. It was great to speak to an audience that I've never spoken to before, a group of grade 9s, people who were 14, 15 years old. I've never spoken to that type of audience, at least not on a regular basis, right? Like my siblings are younger than me, but they're not that young. So it was interesting. I felt I had to kind of switch up my vernacular ever so slightly, just to make it very student-friendly language. But yeah, it was super cool. And I'm glad actually that the camera didn't work, because it forced me to kind of think on my feet a little bit and try to just focus on the information rather than the technical. And I'm gonna actually debrief with one of the teachers now, who's actually the one that set it up for me. So shout outs to her. Yeah, we're just gonna debrief now, and I'm just gonna kind of share my thoughts on how I felt I did. And I really want to hear her feedback in terms of learning facilitation, because that's something that I enjoy doing, right? It's I do feel fairly confident in speaking to people, but I know there's always room for improvement. So I would love to know how I can do that better. And hopefully this is something I get the chance to do again. And if not, I'm sure this experience will still prove to be valuable moving forward, And another thing that I do want to touch on briefly is just, you don't always need to be able to do the exact thing that you want in order to get practice for the thing that you want. So for example, with this, a cool way for me to practice for public speaking is doing these vlogs, right? This is a way for me to practice expressing ideas that are in my head verbally, right? In a way that is hopefully as concise as I can. I know sometimes these vlogs are a little bit longer, but being able to kind of put all that together, right? So if you can't find an opportunity to practice the skill or to, hone the characteristic that you're trying to work on or develop, find something that will allow you to still use that characteristic or skill, which is funny because that was the topic of the presentation. But finding an opportunity to be able to grow and develop that skill, whether it's doing the actual thing you want to do or if it's just something that still utilizes the same skill set. So that was that. In terms of the rest of the day, I'm gonna get back into some video editing stuff. Like I said, gonna debrief with the teacher that set up the speaking gig for me. And yeah, just spend the rest of the day editing. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the vlogs. I think this will now be the end of it. I don't know which episode we're on. I want to say, actually, I don't even know. 16 or something. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch you on another episode. I was going to say tomorrow, but later, because I don't know what day of the week it is when you're watching this. But catch you on another one. I need a cool sign up. I'll think of something. Anyway, bye.